Question 1. In early 2026, a deadly gas leak in Kendwadi area of Dhanbad highlighted the enduring list of the Jaria coalfield area fires, which is specific gas resulting from the accumulation in defunct underground seams 13 and 14 reached its level in nearly 40 times the safe limit take 1500 से 2000 ppm. Carbon monoxide. Jaria coalfields fires. The Jaria coalfields located in Dhanbad, Jharkhand is one of the India's major sources of coal. However, hit by the underground coal fires for over a century, posing significant risks to human health and the environment. Gas accumulation in defunct seams, defunct underground coal seams such as seam 13 and seam 14 are prone to the Gas accumulation in defunct underground coal seams such as seam Thyra Chowda are prone to the accumulation of harmful gases due to incomplete combustion and lack of ventilation. Deadly gas leak in the early 2026 in the Kendwa, the area of Dhanbad, the carbon monoxide leak was reported. The concentration of CO in the air was measured at level nearly 40 times the safe limit of 1500 ppm. The highlights the dangerous impacts of the coalfield fire on local safety. Carbon monoxide, this gas is a byproduct of incomplete combustion of coal and other carbon-based fuels. It is colorless, waterless, and highly toxic, making it a significant hazard in areas affected by underground fires. Impact of CO exposure: high levels of carbon monoxide can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning, which affects the oxygen carrying capacity of blood, resulting in symptoms like dizziness, headache, and unconsciousness, or even death in severe cases. Safe limit of CO: the safe concentration of CO for human exposure is less than 50 ppm in 8 hours. Workday as per occupational safety standards level reaching 40 times the safe limits are life-threatening. Characteristics of carbon monoxide: carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that is highly toxic to humans and animals. It is produced when carbon-based fuels such as coal, wood, or gasoline burns incompletely. At high concentration, CO can cause a fixation by reducing oxygen levels in bloodstreams. Even at low level program exposure can result in long-term health issues. Comparison of gases mentioned option. Mrs. is flammable gas commonly found in coal mines is not toxic, but coal so explosion is not. It is not the gas mentioned in the cause. Carbon dioxide is a toxic gas but can displace oxygen in confined spaces, leading to suffocation. Sulfur dioxide is toxic with a pungent odor, often during the combustion of sulfur containing fuel. It is not a significant byproduct of all seams fires in the small area. Coalfield has been burning since the early 20th century due to spontaneous combustion of coal fields. These fires mix of toxic gases including CO2 and SO2 in the air. The fire ever displaced thousands of residents, contaminated the environment, and caused respiratory and issues among the local population. Efforts to extinguish the fires have been undertaken, but the scale of the problem make it challenging. Efforts to extinguish the fires have been undertaken, but the scales of the problem make it challenging to resolve completely. Carbon health hazards of CO. Carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin in the blood to form carboxyhemoglobin, which reduces the blood's ability to carry oxygen. This can lead to organ damage and even death. Symptoms of CO poisoning include headache, nausea, confusion, and dizziness. In severe cases, it can cause loss of consciousness and death. Preventive measures: regular monitoring of gas levels in high-risk areas like coal mines is essential to prevent accidental exposure. Installation of ventilation system and use of personal protective equipment can help minimize risk. Educating the local population about the danger of CO and implementing emergency response plans can save lives. Question 2. The Birsa Munda Krishi Unayan Yojana primarily focus on which aspects of agricultural development? Solar-based irrigation and mechanizations. Birsa Munda Krishi Unayan Yojana is a government initiative aimed at improving agricultural practices and productivity, especially in tribal and rural Yojana. This scheme primarily focuses on solar-based irrigation system and mechanisms which are vital to enhancing agricultural efficiency and reducing dependence on traditional methods. Solar-based irrigation ensure access to sustainable diesel power pumps. Mechanization involves the use of which reduce manual labor and improve crop yield. This aligns with the scheme's goals to modernize farmer practice. The scheme promotes environmentally friendly solutions for farming, addressing issues of scarcity and climate change impacts on agriculture. Solar-based irrigation scheme. These schemes are used solar panels water farms, ensuring a reliable and cost-effective solution for irrigation. They help reduce carbon emissions and dependence on fossil fuels, aligning with the global sustainable goals. In India, several states have adopted solar irrigation schemes under one project like PM Solar Initiative. Mechanization agriculture. Mechanization involves the use of tractor, harvester, and other advanced equipment to improve farming efficiency. It is to manual labor enhances productivity and ensure better crop management practices. Mechanization plays a vital role in addressing labor shortage and increasing productivity for farmers. Distribution of high yield seeds. While important, this is one of the primary focus of the Birsa Munda Krishi Union Yojana. Free insurance for cattle. This satellites for improvement state will implement this scheme is implemented at the state level, focusing on travel area like Jharkhand, where some of the world's historical achievements him to address specific which challenges faced by marginalized communities, ensuring better lively opportunities, promoting solar irrigation and mechanization contributes to reducing environmental degradation and ensuring sustainable farming policy. It aligns with India's commitment to achieving sustainable development goals related to agriculture and climate actions. National Institutes for Rural Development, Panchayati Raj situated at Hyderabad. National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj Institute at Hyderabad. National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, an autonomous organization under the Union Ministry of Rural Development. It is the premier national career center of excellence in the field of rural development, Panchayati Raj. The National Institute of Panchayati Raj, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj celebrated in the Golden Jubilee year of 2008. Organized the objective national Panchayat organized training program comprehensive national workshops study of rural development study the following Panchayat Raj institution. Which of the article is related to representation of economic and the legislation of the state? Article which of that is. It provides for the reservation in the legislation of the states. Seats shall be reserved for the student as two types. Except the scheduled types in autonomous district also only. It provides the representation in the legislation of the states. It has been required the resolution of election in the prison, but it is extended by the 8th Amendment. The period of resolution for the extent to the 1/4 Amendment. Claims of civil lands to be service and post. Exocarcinoma is the reserve substitute for Anglo Indians. The Lok Sabha State Assembly extended reservation possession up for 10 years. On January 21, 2020, the President of India, Ramnath Kovind, gave cessation to law. Which one is not for good governance, transparency, and efficiency and emotionality? Good governance, equality among all citizens. The right to get an education, get employment, get married, for and follow any religion. It is the responsibility of the government that it is free to lead any life that to lead, provided it is not causing any harm to anyone. Legislative arguments have no place in good governance. It is favors one citizen over the other. That citizens choose their government so that people in government can properly administer the country. The citizens pay tax for the development of various infrastructure and services in the country. It is the responsibility of the government to be transparent in how they function and how they spend the money of the public. They also need to responsive and listen to grievance and resolution of the citizen become. The country is nothing without its citizens. This is why the Indian Constitution provides a fundamental right to its citizen. There six fundamental article 12 में तेजी बनवाया इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन राइट टू इक्वलिटी आर्टिकल 14 से 18 राइट टू फ्रीडम 1922 राइट अगेंस्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन आर्टिकल 23-24 राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन आर्टिकल 25 से 28 कल्चरल एंड एजुकेशनल राइट आर्टिकल 29 से 30 राइट टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रेमेडीज आर्टिकल 32 से 226 The Sovereign Committee, which recommends the inclusion of fundamental duties, was set up by whom among the following Indian Prime Ministers. Indira Gandhi. Sovereign Committee was formed in 1976 under the leadership of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. The committee was tasked with recommending the inclusion of fundamental duties in the Indian constitutions. These recommendations led to the incorporation of fundamental duties in the constitution through the 47th Amendment administered the community and the minister. The fundamental duties were added to part of the constitution and Article Governor. These duties outline the moral obligations of citizens of all the constitution and promote a spirit of patriotism. The addition of fundamental duties influence the government models for other nations, particularly within a part of our constitution. There were other 10 fundamental duties and additional 10 was later related through Cheshire and those are making the Rajiv Gandhi served as the Prime Minister of India from 1980. His tenure marked by significant economic reform and the introduction of computerized and modernized India. Rajiv Gandhi was the creation of fundamental anti-defection law 1985. Modernization the primary successor Nazi pulling certain 47 during period. The administration program is developed by liberty for duties. President Yunus Johnson Lalu Satra. Siasa Green Revolution Jawan Jackson. Question coniferous trees are common in each of the following forest. Mountain forest. In mountainous area that decrease in temperature with increased altitude leads to corresponding change in natural ice such that is successful natural waste cells summer the wet temperature values correspond between a height of 2,000 meters. Evergreen broadleaf trees such as oaks and chestnuts predominate between 15 to 16,000 meters. Temperate forests containing coniferous trees like pine, deodar, silver fir, spruce, and cedar are not found. These forests cover mostly the southern slopes of Himalayas, place having a higher altitude southern northwest. At higher elevation, temperate grassland common at high altitude, generally more than 300 meters above sea level. Temperate forests and grassland give way to alpine vegetations. Silver fir, junipers, pines, and birches are common trees of these forests. However, they get progressively stunted as they approach snow line. Ultimately, those shrubs and scrubs emerge into alpine grassland. These are excellent for grazing by nomadic tribes like gujars and bakarwals at high altitude. Moses and becomes forms part of the floral vegetation. How does the sun's light takes from the sun to Earth? 9 minutes, 8 minutes 20 seconds. 8 minutes 20 is the approximate time it takes from the light from the sun to reach Earth. This duration is based on the average distance between Earth and Sun, which is about 930 million miles or just kilometers. Light millions per hour. Light travels at a speed of approximately 299.79 km per second, or about 186 miles per second. By this time calculation, the phenomenon of the light travel time from the sun to Earth understand the concept of international space time. Speed of light is a fundamental estimate denoted by symbol C. This constant plays a critical role in the theories of relative purpose. Albert Einstein, the concept of light supply was separated as therefore, you light from the nearest for approximately century it takes about 4 minutes to reach to the vast extent or advanced types such as telescopes. So, we continue to answer this first measurement. Nile River does not flow through which of the following? Chad. Nile River is the longest river in the world, stretching approximately 2,250 kilometers, 4,130 miles. It flows through 11 countries, including Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, Uganda, Ethiopia, among the others. The major parts White Nile, which are Lake Victoria, and Blue Nile, which are Lake Tanzania, Ethiopia. The Nile plays a crucial in supporting area. The Third River is not located along the Nile River. It's a large part of Lake Chad. Unlike the country's through the Nile flows transformation between Lake Chad, fed by rivers like the Chari and Lobon. Sudan lies along the coast of the Nile River, which flows through the country from south to north. The line is resources for Sudan irrigation and agriculture, particularly in the area like Irfan and Rumen, Nile, Blue Nile, and White Nile. Margin Khartoum, the capital Sudan. Uganda is one of the countries where the originates. Lake Victoria Lake, located in Uganda, is considered sources of White Nile. The Nile River supports hydroelectric projects in Uganda, success. Nalu Valley Dam for only all felt Egypt is the last country along the Nile. Before it dam system and change. The Nile is the lifeline of Egypt, providing water for agriculture, drinking, and other purposes in this arid country. The construction has a dam in Sonjan country for agility hydro power to Egypt. It was related to Khadar and Bengal soils. Algal soil. Algal soil are the two types of soil found in the river plain of the Khadar is the river plain. Soil deposited by river plain making highly suitable for agriculture. Bengal river is on the railway line of the front page with more fertile compared to Khadar. Algal soil including Khadar and Bengal railway built for the Indian part of the earth. Less of the east coast. Red mud byproduct the buyer process for the extracting aluminum from bauxite or not. The extra rich in iron, magnesium, and aluminum. Very important known as record soil in India. Lateral ceramic layers of iron and aluminum found in hot and wet soil.